Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daily Past. Today's video is definitely a heavy one. We're about to uncover some pretty startling revelations, leaked documents that give us a shocking look at Russian President Vladimir Putin's disturbing and secretive plans for Ukraine. Now, I'm sure you've heard a lot about the conflict, but these documents, these top secret papers, well, they've sent shockwaves all over the globe. And inside, they expose some pretty chilling details. Things like Russia's military strategies, their attempts at political manipulation, and even the involvement of mercenaries. And it all seems to be part of a much bigger, darker plan to solidify the Kremlin's control over Ukraine. Let's dive in, take a closer look at these documents, and see just how far Putin was, willing to go to achieve his geopolitical goals. Trust me, it's a lot darker than you might think. Let's dive into the first part of the leaked documents. These papers give us a pretty disturbing and in-depth look at Russia's strategy for invading Ukraine. And it's pretty clear that Putin wasn't planning just some standard military operation. No, he was gearing up for a fast, brutal, and honestly overwhelming assault on Ukraine. The plan as outlined in these documents was meticulously detailed. It was designed to cripple Ukraine within like a matter of days. They weren't aiming for a long, drawn-out war. No, the goal was to hit hard and fast, to break Ukraine's defenses in a short, intense campaign. The plan called for a series of coordinated missile and airstrikes. These weren't just random attacks. They were meant to obliterate Ukraine's military infrastructure, everything from, airfields to power stations, even water supply systems. The idea here was to destabilize the entire country, and fast. By targeting these critical infrastructures, they'd cut off Ukraine's ability to defend itself, and just as important, limit any kind of civilian resistance. And then, it gets even darker. The documents reveal that the Kremlin's real ambition wasn't just to conquer the country, it was to decapitate Ukraine's leadership. That's right, they had a plan to take out the government's top officials in the early stages of the invasion. This was all about creating confusion, weakening the leadership, and making it easier for Russia to seize control. It's really a chilling plan when you think about it. I mean, they had everything planned down to the minute: what to strike first, how to neutralize resistance, and how to take Ukraine's leadership out of the picture, all within just 10 days. 10 days. That's how quickly they thought they could bring Ukraine to its knees. Now, perhaps one of the most disturbing things in these leaked documents, and I really mean disturbing, is the so-called kill list compiled by Russian intelligence. And this wasn't just some vague list of names, it was a detailed categorization of Ukrainians, broken down into 4 groups. So first, there were those marked to be killed. Then, there were those to be suppressed, those to be intimidated into submission. Next, there were those considered neutral, meaning people who weren't necessarily aligned with either side. And finally, there were those who were willing to collaborate with Russia. Now, this categorization tells you a lot about the brutal nature of the plan. It wasn't just about military victory, it was about reshaping Ukraine's entire society, turning it into something that could be controlled by the Kremlin. And those on the kill list, well, they were seen as obstacles, people who posed a threat to Russia's hold over the country. But it gets worse. The documents also mention something even more chilling: filtration camps. These were places where captured Ukrainians would be processed, essentially sorted. They'd be catalogued, scrutinized, and subjected to intense interrogation. The goal was to separate those who were loyal to Russia from those who were, considered enemies of the state. What's terrifying is that these camps weren't just for military prisoners. No, they were meant to control the general population. Families, civilians, anyone who might be a threat to Russian control. The idea was to break them down, intimidate them, and force them into compliance. And when you really think about it, the whole system feels like something ripped straight out of history's darkest moments. People were being sorted like cattle, marked for death, for suppression, or for collaboration based on their perceived loyalty to the state. It's a strategy that shows just how far Russia was willing to go to establish dominance. And it's not just a military operation anymore. It's a complete social, political, and psychological war on the people of Ukraine. As the invasion started to unfold, Russia didn't just rely on its regular military forces. There was another key component in Putin's strategy, and that was the use of mercenaries. And not just any mercenaries, but the notorious Wagner Group. You've probably heard of them by now. They're a shadowy paramilitary organization with strong ties to the Russian government. The documents make it pretty clear that these mercenaries played a major role in several critical areas of the conflict, and one of the most notable was the battle for Bakhmut, which, became one of the bloodiest fights in eastern Ukraine. The Wagner Group was deeply involved there, and they didn't hold back. Now, these mercenaries provided a lot of advantages for the Kremlin. For one thing, they gave Russia a way to fight without officially involving regular military personnel, which kind of gave the Russian government plausible deniability if these forces were, accused of committing war crimes or other atrocities. And that's actually a pretty key part of their strategy. By using mercenaries, they could avoid a lot of the international scrutiny that would have come with direct Russian military involvement. But it wasn't just about avoiding blame. The use of mercenaries also meant that Russia could send in fighters who weren't bound by the traditional rules of engagement that regular military forces would be. These guys, they didn't play by the same rules. So violence could, be unleashed without restraint, and it did. The Wagner Group, especially, became internationally infamous for its brutal tactics. And according to the leaks, they were deployed strategically in areas where Russia needed a decisive edge. Take Bakhmut, for example. The group didn't just participate, they helped turn the tide of the battle with extreme force and cruelty. Their involvement in these key areas was, a huge factor in Russia's push to make progress in the war. And another thing that's pretty telling is how this reliance on mercenaries allowed the Russian government to, extend its reach in Ukraine without fully committing its own soldiers to every front. And let's be real, it also helped them avoid any serious international backlash. It's like they could have their cake and eat it too, exerting pressure on Ukraine while keeping their hands relatively clean in the public eye. Now, as if the military strategy wasn't enough, these leaked documents also reveal something a lot darker and more insidious: Russia's plan for economic and political manipulation. It wasn't just about, military control. Putin wanted to dominate Ukraine in every sense. He aimed to control the country's economic and political systems too. And that's where things get really chilling. One of the most striking parts of the plan was Russia's goal to seize control of Ukraine's financial institutions. The documents show that Russia specifically targeted Ukraine's central bank, as well as other critical financial assets. So if you think about it, by taking over Ukraine's banking system, Russia would be able to gain an almost absolute stranglehold on the country's economy. And once you control the money, you can pretty much control everything else: the government, the people, the entire infrastructure of the country. But it wasn't just about money. Russia was also playing a very dangerous game of political manipulation. The documents revealed that the Kremlin's strategy involved putting heavy pressure on local politicians, regional governors, and even local authorities to cooperate with Russian forces. The idea was to fracture Ukraine's unity from within, to encourage certain regions to defect or, align with Russian interests. In a way, it was like Russia was trying to divide and conquer. By sowing political division and mistrust among Ukraine's own leadership, Putin hoped to weaken the country from the inside out. By turning political figures against each other, he was creating a perfect storm for Russia to slip in and, take control. It's a strategy that relies on breaking down the country's very foundation, its political unity, so it could be more easily manipulated. So this wasn't just a military takeover. No, it was a full-scale attempt to reshape Ukraine's entire economic and political landscape, making it easier for Russia to tighten its grip on the country. So after breaking down all of this, it's pretty clear that the leaked documents give us a chilling look at just how far Vladimir Putin and the Russian government were willing to go in pursuit of their geopolitical ambitions. I mean, from the incredibly calculated invasion plans, to the brutal kill list, the use of mercenaries, and the economic manipulation, it really paints a pretty stark picture of what the Kremlin's intentions were all along. And to be honest, it's unsettling. What really stands out is that the invasion of Ukraine was never just about military conquest. It wasn't some simple land grab. No, it was a cold, ruthless strategy to completely dismantle Ukraine's political, military, and economic structures, all while, reasserting Russia's dominance over the region. It's a lot to digest, honestly. And as we watch all of this unfold, it's clear that the conflict in Ukraine is far from over. The situation remains, incredibly dire for millions of Ukrainians who are stuck in the middle of this ongoing geopolitical struggle. So, we can only hope that the international community will continue to rally around Ukraine, stand strong in the face of these revelations, and work toward a future where justice can, prevail. We'd also love to hear your thoughts on these revelations. What do you think about Russia's plans for Ukraine? Do you think the international community is doing enough to respond to these kinds of actions? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're always interested in hearing what you have to say. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us as we took this deep dive into these leaked documents. If you found this video interesting or informative, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell for more detailed analyses on world events, right? Thanks for tuning in to the Daily Past. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring the world with us.